All right, what's up, familia? Welcome inside the pad. Hope you guys are doing good. Keep in between the lines. Got your load secure. I was dispenser, man. I was gonna have it a little bit more professional. I had my mic set up and everything, but I decided to come to the living room, man. I wanted to come to the living room and watch a couple of things on a few TVs. So dispenser, man, dispenser. What's up, Raza Fu, Holmes? Hey, sports fan, Yule. Vic Med, I'll see you tomorrow, homie. This will be the last. Yeah, I think so. I think so, man. I think so. What's up, Derek? Clyde, how you doing? All right. So, what's up, Lord Spike? So let's give it a minute or two. Let a couple of people filter in. So, if you guys are watching this on the archive, go to, I would say, minute 4 or 5, man. I want a few people filter in. There is if you guys are watching this live, there is a truck show tomorrow. It happens once a year in Ontario. So I'm gonna be there for a minute or two, man. Go check it out. Usually, usually it's a good turnout. I don't live too far from there. So I will try to get footage. I'll try to go live, see what I can do with that. I don't know about recording inside. Outside would be pretty cool. Hopefully it's a good turnout. Get to see some good freedom ass trucks, man, that roll up. So hoping on it. So, man, dog, with all these, with all things that's going on right now, with the hurricane and certain things are not getting a lot of coverage, right? So you kind of got to go digging a little bit on your own. It's a little bit. There's a lot of things moving around, man. There's a lot of things moving around. You know what was cool, dog? Something that I didn't know, but there's an organization out there that has donkeys or mules, right? And I guess they have the mules loaded up with goods and they're able to take them to the areas where the roads are blocked and the roads are closed. And that's pretty badass, dog. I didn't know. I forgot the name of the organization, but there's some organization out there like that that's what they do. Heck, they even taught the military. I don't know how well you got to train them to, stack a mule or whatever, but yeah, I guess the military even does this, that they train the military, to get these mules, donkeys, and, they just stack them and they're able to go for many miles with, little to no assistance, man, of water or food or whatever, right? So that was pretty freedom. I was reading up on that. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. Okay, so I'm sure you guys already have heard that the union workers, they're back to work. Okay, they're back to work today. They went back to work today. All right. So let me go ahead and tell you guys what happened, even though I'm sure some of you guys already know, and then we'll get into some more specific details. Okay. All right. So basically, what had happened was that the union workers were asking for 77% to kill all automation, even the automation that already exists. They want to kill that, destroy that, to replace that with other workers, as well as a boost on their insurance, their medical and all that good stuff, right? And royalties on the container. I was not able to find any specifics on what type of royalties we're talking about, but nonetheless, that's what they were asking for. The USMX came back, shot them a deal. They said, okay, check this out. The first deal was 22%. Union said, Chales, not happening. Okay, they came back. They said 50%. Union still came back, said, Chales, not happening. Okay, so this is where it stands right now. What's up, Rascal? How you doing, carnal? Okay, so this is where it stands right now. Okay, they agreed to the royalties on the containers. Again, I wasn't able to find any specifics on what that is. Okay, but the pay increase, you see 61.5%, and then you have other people reporting 62%. So whichever it is, 61.5 or 62%, nonetheless, it's 4.5% difference. Let's go to dollars, because then everybody can understand it a little bit better. So the 77% increase was going to be a $5 raise per year under that contract. That contract is 6 years. Okay, 6 years. So every single year under the 77% increase, you would get a $5 raise every year. Every single year, your pay goes up by $5 an hour, right? Okay. So they did not get the 77%, but they got the 61.5, 62, whichever one it is. Nonetheless, the dollar equivalent to that is a $4 raise every year. Okay. So instead of getting $5, which they were asking for, they got $4. So every single year, they are getting a $4 raise. Okay. So in 5 years, they would have gotten $20 of a raise. In 6 years, it'd be $24 if we get to 6 years. I'll get to that a little bit later down the line. Okay. So they did, I'm not going to say meet in the middle. I think the union actually got a little bit more what they were wanting. It's negotiation. Like I was saying on one of the lives, if you're going to sell your car, you put it out there for 10 grand, but you're really just trying to get 8,500, right? So were they going to really stick hard with 77%? It seemed like they were, but it seems like 60, I'll just say 62%. All right. Even though it may be 61.5, it looks like 62% was good enough for them. Whatever the royalties are on the containers, that I do not know, but they got that as well, or they met at some agreement, whatever that may be. I don't know. Nonetheless, just to make it crystal clear, man, for everybody, so it won't be so foggy. Basically, they're getting $4 every year of a raise. $4. That's a lot. That's a lot. All right. Now, here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. This guy, Harold Daggett, I didn't hear anybody bring it up. Maybe somebody did. I don't know. I did a live with Vic and Gilbert because I dug into this dude, right? Because this guy was all over the news. So I dug into him, right? And his finances are out there. It's public. And this dude's racking in about $1 million a year. Okay, there's pictures of his house. This dude lives in like an estate. And, what was funny is that yesterday, my boy Gilbert sends me an article where Elon Musk, we all know Elon Musk to be possibly the most richest man in the world. came out and said, hey, does anybody know that this dude has a better yacht than I do? This guy lives a pretty lavish life. Harold Daggett, that is. That's the old man with all the tattoos, with the Boston accent, who's over there talking about, I will cripple you. I will cripple you. Here's what's going to happen. After so many days, people are going to lose their jobs because they can't sell cars. The grocery stores are going to be empty, all this stuff. Okay. That dude, when I saw his salary and I'm like, plus he gets royalties on top of it, whatever it may be, right? So he lives a lavish lifestyle, which I don't care. All right. I don't care. All right. And we're going to get to the USMX in just a second because nobody's talking about them. All right. A lot of people are coming down on the unions, this dude, Harold Daggett, and the union workers. Okay. We'll get to the USMX in just a second. But I don't care that this dude gets paid. I don't care that he gets a lot of money. The unions rack in a lot of money. Okay. And there's dirty shenanigans that go on with the unions. I've said it before. I'm not a big fan of the unions. All right. Personally, I think they, once upon a time in this country's history, I think they were extremely needed. Nowadays, and for the last, I don't know how many years, I'll be real with you guys, man. It kind of makes employees feel very entitled, and I don't really like it. I've never worked for a union, but every time I come across union workers, they're not the hardest workers out there. Okay. Now, so what happened is that because they came to an agreement of the 62%, they said, okay, since we came to an agreement on the money part, on the feria, what's going to happen now is now they're going back to work, which they did today. They're going back to work, and they have till January 15th to negotiate the rest of the contract for the next 6 years. So they're still looking at the automated stuff. Whether they're going to agree to keep whatever is automated right now, don't know. The union wants that automated stuff gone. They don't want any of it. They want they want it gone completely. Whatever's there that's automated, the USMX is saying, no, how about this? We just keep that and we don't add any more automation. We'll keep whatever we have, but we don't add anything else. Not good enough for the union. They're saying, no, get rid of it completely. So that's going to be a tough one to negotiate. But nonetheless, they're back at work at least till January 15th. Hopefully a deal is made before then. Okay, now, here's the thing. This dude, Harold Daggett, right? Some people have become a fan of his. Some people have not liked him, especially since this came out of, hey, man, this dude lives a lavish lifestyle, which is fine. I don't care. I don't care, dog. But that's why I was asking, is the 77% increase, does that include him? Because whoever is on salary, it included them too. So, that's something to think about. Now, I know people are looking at the percentages and they're thinking, damn, these fools are greedy. These dudes are asking for way, 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 way too much, right? 77%. Like, who the heck do these dudes think they are? Man, homie, ain't nobody getting a $5 raise every single year for 6 years straight. Plus, they make a pretty good living already. For the most part, not every single one of them. So it's like, okay, these dudes are asking for too much. All right. Yes, in a way they are. Okay, in a way they are. However, something that nobody's bringing up, and I'll get to you guys' chats in a second. Something that nobody's bringing up, and the reason why nobody's bringing them up is actually because they're not showing their faces. This dude, Harold Daggett, decided to get on camera and become the most popular man in America at least for his 15 minutes of fame. And now everybody started digging into this dude. I never heard anybody bring up his salary till I brought it up. And then Elon Musk comes out. And then that same day, the same day that Elon Musk brings up how this dude lives, that same day, they agreed to 62% and they're back at work on Friday, which is today. So Elon Musk puts it out there. Hey, hold on a second. This guy has a better yacht than I do, and he lives a lavish lifestyle. He put that out. People started getting pictures of this guy's house. It was like 2 hours later. 2 hours later, hey, they reached an agreement. 62% to January 15th. Could it just be a coincidence? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It could just be a coincidence. But just to be fair on all of this, all right, because ain't nobody getting a $4 or $5 raise every single year, Holmes. It's man, ain't nobody getting that, okay? But let's talk about the USMX. Okay, let's talk about them because not too many people are talking about them. They've stayed out of the camera on this. I don't know what any of them sound like. I don't know what any of them look like. They've stayed clear out of the camera. And by the way, a lot of these dudes are foreigners. By far, most are foreigners. And I don't think a lot of Americans even know this, that a lot of those ports, man, are really owned by foreigners. Billionaires, by the way. All right, let me go ahead and read off a couple of numbers. Because since COVID-19, this is what Harold Daggett, this is what he was talking about. This is why he started asking for so much. Now, I'm not putting him out to be the good guy, but this is why he started asking so much. Because since COVID-19, it went up significantly on how much money they were making. Not the union, but the USMX. Okay, I'm gonna read off some numbers to you guys. Okay, for example, let me see. Okay, Maersk, for example, AP Moller Maersk revenue for the 12 months, for the 12-month period ending on September 30th of 2022 was more than 82 billion with a B. 82 billion, more than a 50% increase from the previous year. Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Orale, I'm not supposed to say the C word. Since the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. When the ILA kept the ports open, right, and commerce kept moving, Maersk earned 62 billion in 2021. So the shutdowns happened in 2020, okay? A 50%, a jump of almost 56%. Okay, so in 2021, there's a 56% increase in 2021 where they bring in $62 billion. 62, and that's just Maersk. That's just one of them. And then in 2022, they bring in 82 billion. All right. So again, are they asking for so much? I mean, these are probably the numbers that people aren't really talking about. The Mediterranean Shipping Company, or MSC, reported revenues 82.2 billion for the 12-month period ending on September 30th, 2022. In a 12-month period, they racked in 28.2 billion. This is where Harold Daggett was saying it went from millions, it went from hundreds of millions to billions like that because of COVID. And what he's asking for, what he said was, we're asking for a slice of that pie. So I know 77% sounds like, what the heck? Get the heck out of here, homie. Ain't nobody 77%. I understand that. But when you read these numbers here, Costco, not Costco where you go shopping at, okay? Costco, Costco. All right, not the Costco, no relations to the box store where you go get your cervezas and your toilet papers and all that stuff, man. Okay, Costco revenue for the past 2 years was 63.22 billion in 2022 and 51.67 billion in 2021. I think that one's owned by China. These are not American companies. Okay. Everybody understand that. These are not American companies. I'll throw one more at you. Here's one. Here's a French company. Yes, French, from France. The CGM received, let me see, just jumped up. 3 billion in dividends this year as profits spiked. Let me see. Okay, they are a privately owned company. They earned 20 billion in the second quarter alone in 2022. Yeah, there's a couple of private ones. Evergreen. So look, the ILA, International Longshore Association, right? Are they asking for a lot? Yeah, if you just focus on them. But if you look at the billions that these companies, by the way, foreign, by the way, Costco, I believe, is just owned by the Chinese government. Okay, you got Canadian, you got French, you got Germany. And I don't think people know this stuff. So when I sit back and I think about it, am I down with unions? Not really. No. Actually, I'm actually not really down with unions. I think they played a pivotal part in this country's history, and I think their time has come and gone. I think, it's time to move on from unions, man. There's cameras, there's social media, there's all this stuff, man, where something is really being done badly like that, it could be recorded and reported. I don't think the time for unions, man, I think it's run its course, right? But oh well, they're here, right? And I don't want to point the unions as the good person here, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. There's nobody that I'm saying this is the good guy, this is the bad guy. I know everybody wants to see something like that. Oh, somebody's got to be the liar. Somebody has to be the bad guy. So we need somebody to root for. I'm not really sure who the good guy, bad guy here is. I don't think there's any good or bad guy. Okay, I think both of them have dirty laundry. I'll be honest with you guys, man, straight up. I don't like that. These billions and billions and billions of dollars are going to foreign countries. That I don't like. So a little bit of me says like, yeah, you know what? Shoot, give them a 177% raise. So at the very least, that money is going to Americans, and that money is being spent here in the land of the stars and the stripes. At the very least, right? At the same time, I don't want to paint the union, the ILA, like there's some sort of good guy here, because in reality, they don't want automation to come in. Why? Because if the more workers they lose, the more money they lose. Because what do you got to do when you're in the union? You got to pay. You got to pay what they say your fair share, right? You're in the union, so you got to pay your fee, homie, to be in the union. So the more people they cut, this is not, oh man, we care about you. We care about you, man. We care about, I care about my boys out there. I care about my, look, maybe you do. I doubt it. It's all about the money, which is fine. You don't have to care about it. No employer needs to care about you. Yeah, you're as good as the money you bring in. I'm not over here, on a soapbox or in a fetal position. Oh man, nobody cares. You need to care about not Charlie, homie. It's business. You're as good as the money you make. The problem with the union is I have not met not one trucker, not one that has anything good to say about the longshoremen. Not one. It's always, man, these dudes are a-holes. It takes a long time. They go to lunch 30 minutes early. They come back 30 minutes late. So in reality, they ended up taking a 2-hour lunch. They skip you. They kick you out. They act like they're the Judas. They're lazy. They take their time. I wonder if Harold Daggett had a meeting with his guys, right? And I'm gonna get to your comments right now, the Spencer man. But let me just finish this point. I wonder if he had a meeting with his guys and said, check this out, fellas. When we go back to work Friday, today, let's kick ass. Let's kick some ass. Let's get out there and let's work our asses off to show them that we cannot be replaced. I wonder if that conversation ever took place. I doubt it. That's the issue that I have with union. Oh man, automation's making its way in. Okay, then you know what? Let's kick ass. Let's kick ass to show them. Can't replace me, homie. You can't replace me. All right, let me get to, I got some more on here, but let me see. Strictly Hard Rap says, Teamsters are crooks. Oh, man, Teamsters. Look, I'm in the trucking industry, homie, but I've never been part of a union, man. Let me see. You still need a truck, but how will that work out? It sounds like the Starlink. It's been initiated. The Chinese own most of the cargo ships. And, just to be fair, that because of the regulations, a lot of these billionaire companies need to build new ships. So that's gonna be quite the dollar right there. What's up, Bean Loke? Let me see, man. Spencer, I missed a lot of you guys. Queen Bee Legacy, Kiole. Let me see. Going on strike, going back. Ring, saludos. I'm not going on strike, man. I'm not part of any union, which is something that I do want to bring in right now. Let me see. The union is small-scale slavery. I mean, in a way it is, man. In a way it's actually going, for what it was made, it's actually kind of turning back into that. So we'll phrase out automation. Well, I want to get to that, man. But that's a fool. Let me see. With their feet up attitude. Terrible leadership. Costco. Let me see. And many other ship companies is not U.S. owned. Yeah. Those billions come from around the world, not just the United States. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about. The USMX. That's why, am I really that upset at the union for asking for 77%? No, not really. Because I'd rather have that money come here to the workers in the United States, and at least they spend that money here. So yeah, a lot of these ships, a lot of these companies, man, they are foreign owned, making billions. All right. So I know everybody is focused on the ILA. I know everybody's focused on Harold Daggett, and I'm not saying they're good guys in this. Okay, there's really no one I'm really rooting for. But here's something that I do want to throw out there. Okay. All right. I'm a trucker, homie, right? And let's say one day, I'm not in charge of all truckers yet. I'll rule the world one day. Oh, you guys just watch. But here's what I want to say. Let's say one day, right? Let's say one day I come out, let's say I have the power or whatever, man. Let's just say truckers, all truckers, stop. We just say, you know what? We're tired of the pay. We're tired of the rates. We're tired of the diesel prices. We're not getting enough bang for the buck. We're tired of all the rules, the regulations. We're sick of it all. We're tired of having the cameras inside of our cabs. Boom. We are stopping. Dead stop. Okay, look. There are certain jobs that do stop the country, right? The longshoremen, yes, it does. It's going to take a little time, but I'm not here to toot my own horn just because I'm a trucker. But the first day that every single truck stops, I'm talking about every single truck, the country will feel it on the very first day. The very first day, everybody's going to feel it, the whole country. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, okay, about protest that is going to hurt the country, right? Because you could protest for a company that's not going to hurt the country. It's going to hurt the employer. I remember years ago, I don't know how many years ago, the grocery stores went on protest, right? Like Vons and Ralph's, and it didn't really hurt the country. They got scab workers to come in, fill in. Shoppers could cross the picket line if you wanted to. The workers were going to talk masa to you. I'm not disrespecting anybody that works at grocery shops, at grocery stores, but it doesn't stop. It doesn't damage the country like that, right? You could get scab workers in there and you could just harass customers from the parking lot or the sidewalk or whatever, man. But right, it didn't really damage the country. Okay, but if trucks stop one day, I'll drop the link. Let me see. If trucks stop one day, right? All trucks, that will cripple the country day one. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that nobody thinks about, okay? Everything's going to be affected, right? Everything from grocery stores, gas, and anything and everything's going to be affected in this country. Here's the thing, though, Holmes. I'm in this country, okay? I got to be willing to go through the pain that everybody else is going through. So if these longshoremen go on strike and they're talking about, we'll cripple you. You ain't going to be able to, the shelves are going to get empty. You're not going to be able to, go shopping and find supplies. Yeah, you know what, Holmes? That includes you. That includes you too. So you really got to think about that if you're going to go on strike trying to send a message that can cripple the country. I am in a business that can cripple the country in trucking. And if one day, which it will never happen, but if one day all truckers got together and say, on this day, we're going to stop because we're going to demand a raise or we're going to demand whatever it may be, right? I'm not going to say no. I'm just going to raise my hand and say, okay, are you guys willing to go through that same struggle? I'm not talking about, hey, we're not going to make money. That's not what I'm talking about. You're talking about crippling the country. Okay, we are in this country. Every discomfort, every inconvenience, every suffering that we're going to put everybody through, you're going to put yourself through it too. So this isn't like, oh, you know what? You guys are going to suffer, but we're not. That's not what's going to happen. So when these longshoremen over there talking about that we will cripple the country, that's you too, man. That's you too, Holmes. So, I mean, understand that. So this strike lasted for what, 2.5, 3 days or something like that. So I'm just a little baffled. Like, okay, you may be getting, the union may be kicking you a couple of bucks, but you're gonna find short supplies as well, man. So you might be wanting to, have somebody walk through some fire to get your point across, but in reality, you're walking through that same fire as that person. So that's something that needs to be understood. Let me see. Much like total man, you are courageous to speak up for this. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just, like I said, man, there's really no side that I'm really rooting for. If I had to choose one, it would probably be for the unions, but I'm not pro-union. It's not even for the union. That's not even okay, I'm phrasing it wrong. It's not for the union. It's just so the money can get into those workers' hands so they could spend it here in America. That would be it. If, these dudes, these companies, foreign companies like China are racking in 50, 60, 70, 80 billion dollars a year. Am I for the unions? No, not really. But if they're asking for a 77%, I think they're already kind of spoiled. But do I want the money to be in foreign hands? Or would I rather the money go to American hands and they could spend it here? So I guess I would have to side there, but don't get me wrong. Don't get it wrong, but do not get it twisted. I am not over here advocating for them to be getting, everything that they're asking for, which brings me to automation, right? Automation. Be careful, everybody. Be careful when you keep on asking for raises and we're gonna, go on strike, or, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that. Be careful. All right, be careful. You guys remember fast food workers like McDonald's talking about, oh, we need more money. We need more money. We need more money. Go inside of McDonald's. Go inside of McDonald's now. Yeah, there might be a few workers in there. You're probably ordering from the kiosks. Okay, be careful on how much you keep pushing. Automation, the technology is here. Okay, it's here. And the technology to run these ports, it's here. It's been here. It's been here for a while already. So I believe that the union is asking for so much because I think Harold Daggett knows that this is it. Let's get as much as we can, because after these 6 years, it's over. It's over. How can they negotiate 6 years from now? How can they negotiate another contract for their jobs? Because while this 6-year contract is going, don't think for a second, do not think for a second that they're not going to be over there getting ready to replace them as soon as that contract is up. See, right now, they weren't ready with all the automation. Oh, you guys are on strike? Boom, we got all the automation ready to rock and roll. Right now, they weren't ready for that. They're just slowly trying to creep it in, slowly trying to creep it in. But now that this happened, I think they know. I think they know this is it, Holmes. This is our last hoorah. So let's get as much money as we can. Let's get as much benefits as we can. And for the next 6 years, let's eliminate automation completely. But once these 6 years are over, they're not really gonna have strong level foundation, to negotiate with anymore. All right. I know a little bit about this just because for years, they've been trying to make automated trucks. Okay, not automatic trucks. Automatic trucks are already a thing. There's trucks out there that you don't have to shift gears, but trucks that drive themselves. Okay, it's failed time and time and time and time again. It's failed. Okay, it seems like for the last 10 years, been hearing nothing but just talks about, oh man, you're gonna lose your job. Oh, you're gonna lose your job. Hey man, looks like next year you're not gonna have a job. Hey, looks like next year you're not gonna have a job. Hasn't happened yet. Okay, hasn't happened yet. Which is one of the reasons why I want to take pride in what I do. And I want to influence other drivers to take pride in what they do, to show, hey, check this out, man. You can't replace me with a machine. All right. But if you got drivers out there, and you do, a lot of them are just called steering wheel holders. That to them it's just a job. It's nothing special to them. To them, it's not a way of life. It's just a job. It's just whatever to them. That hurts the argument of why you shouldn't replace a trucker. So that's why I like to take pride in what I do. I don't really like to screw around. I like to enjoy it, yes, but not screw around and get it done right. That's why I'm saying Harold Daggett, he should make sure he's being recorded while he's talking to his guys, saying like, tomorrow, guys, let's kick ass. Let's go out there and let's work our asses off, man. So the USMX, man, they're not the good guy on this. Yeah, they're racking in billions, homie. Billions. So foreign, by the way. So they're not the good guy in this. So anyway, let me see. I know I said I was going to drop the link. All right, I got a few minutes. Let me see if anybody wants to jump in and give their 2 cents. Let's see. I'll give you guys, no more than, 5 minutes, man. I don't want to run it too long. Let me see. The guys here in LA, those dudes had nothing to fall back on. No skills. Many struggle when automation was implemented. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. Because there's a lot of jobs. This is a lot of jobs, right? One of the reasons why you can't just get scab workers to go in there to the ports is because they need to be trained, right? Again, no disrespect to anybody who works at a grocery store. My son used to work at a grocery store, all right? But when those people strike, they were able to just get scab workers. You just come in and, do what they were doing. Maybe you don't do it as well, but hey, man, as long as you get the job done. Right? If truckers go on strike, Sure, you could find other truckers, but if all truckers go on strike, I mean, good gosh, good luck trying to replace those jobs. There's certain jobs, and I know it seems like I'm tooting my own horn because I'm a trucker, man. But look, there's certain jobs, and the longshoremen, they're one of them. You got to be able to, be trained to move some of that equipment. There's certain jobs, and I don't want to disrespect anybody's job out there. When I was a teenager, I worked warehouse. I'll be honest with you, man. It's, there wasn't a lot of training to do. It's just you read the numbers. It's like, hey, you know what? There's a lot of moving boxes and jump on a forklift. It didn't take it's work, but it didn't take a lot of training. So, these guys on the West Coast, there was that famous video, the guy from one of the ports, I think it was somewhere in Long Beach, where he said, hey, there's what they're fighting against. These are all automated. There's really nobody here. It was him, and I don't know, you could probably see like one or two dudes, man, in the far, far distance. At the same time, I also want to say something. What Harold Daggett said, what he said was true too. All right, there's 45,000 jobs. You just can't have automation take over everything. Who the heck's going to pay taxes? This country is run on taxes. Who? You lose workers, just the country as a whole. You keep on losing countries. You keep on losing jobs in this country to computers and machines and all that good stuff. Who's paying taxes then? Yeah, you're probably not feeling it as much right now, but as year and year and year keeps going on, look at cashiering. How many stores today do you go and there's a cashier there? Yeah, you still see them here and there. Man, I was at a Walmart the other day. There was what? 2 cashiers. The rest, you go and you check out yourself. It's like, okay, how long can this just keep going and going and going and going till the government says like, hey, we're not getting the tax money. Plus, by the way, the jobs that are getting lost, right, due to automation, the ones that are still working, do our taxes go up now to make up the difference? So if you got 10 dudes, working, you're relying on $100. So what do? You tax those 10 vatos, $10 each. $10 each. All right? It's not too much, right? $10 each. Oh man, I got a machine. Now I only need 5 of you guys. So 5 of you guys, hey, you know what, man? You guys were good workers, and good luck to you and your family. Right? But guess what? You still need those $100. So now what do? You only got 5 guys left because you got rid of the other 5. And with 5 guys that are still here, $20 each. I still need that $100. So with the guys that are left, the 5 dudes, you just bump that sucker up. So, there's a lot of give and take and give and take and give and take and all of this, man. So as it stands right now, oh, you know what? Let me play this video real quick, dog. It's kind of funny because people were freaking out and buying toilet paper, right? All right, let me see. Let me get myself out of here. People were freaking out and buying toilet paper, right? Well, I think people only freaked out and bought toilet paper because of COVID. But in reality, toilet paper, it's made here. It's made here.
Items such as bottled water, gone.
The lines for the water's almost out. Toilet paper seems to be empty.
The panic at the Costco.
Hey, real quick, why do you stack up on bottled water? I mean, if things really get bad, I mean, wouldn't you just drink faucet water? I just drink water out of the water hose. I'm sure everybody knows that.
Is likely a panic over the longshoreman strike affecting shipping ports up and down the East Coast and in the Gulf.
I'm probably not too worried about toilet paper. I don't think we're importing a lot of toilet paper through the Eastern Seaboard. So if you're running to Costco right now to freak out, don't freak out on the toilet paper. It's going to be there.
Dr. Brian Stroh from Palm Beach Atlantic University says toilet paper is made in the U.S. No ships are needed. The strike, however, is.
All right, let me get that off. People are freaking out thinking about COVID-19, going and stacking up on something that is made here in the United States. We're gonna have toilet paper. You'll be fine. Your nalgas, you could keep them clean. Okay? That's made here in the good old US of A. Real quick, before I end it up, there was something that that was funny, dog. That was funny. Just because of COVID, everybody's all like, oh man, toilet paper time, which lets me know where everybody's really at. Lets me know where everyone's really at. All this, oh man, I'm about helping others. Oh man, it ain't about me. It's about everybody else. It's about, then why are you stocking up, Holmes? If it's not about you, why are you stocking up? Why don't you just go get a little bit here and say, like, you know what? Other people need stuff, man. So if we're going to be shortage, if we're going to have a shortage, let me just grab a couple of things and leave the rest there, man, because other people are in need. Why are you hoarding on so many supplies? Everybody loves to talk about on how it's not about them. It's about helping others. It's about, helping the next man. Everybody likes to talk about that. Hey, homie, I've said it plenty of times. I'm not about positivity and I'm not about negativity. I'm just me, Holmes. That's it. That's it. But why does everybody talk about, oh man, it's about helping others and we got to be there for one another? Why are you stocking up then for? Why are you over there with 2-3 shopping carts jammed? You don't care if you clear off the shelf. You don't care if the next person that goes into the supermarket, the shelf is cleared out. It's about you, which is fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Shoot, yeah, take care of yourself. Absolutely. But don't try to sell me. Don't try to sell me on this. Oh, man, it's about everybody else. It ain't about me. I don't even care about me. I just care about everybody else. Then why are you stocking up for, dog? Just get a little bit for yourself and leave the rest for somebody else. This bro should be more responsible as well. You know what? Yeah, you know what? You're right. Some of these stores should be a little bit more responsible and saying like, hey, there's a limit here. Yeah, you're right. Because obviously people talking, right? When there's not a whatever pandemic or shortage or whatever it may be, people like to talk a good one on how they're for other people. They're not for themselves. They're not selfish. And they point the finger at somebody else. Oh, that person, they're just in it for themselves, man. That person's just in it for themselves, dog. Oh, man. You know what it is? Greed. I hate greedy people. And that person's in it for themselves. They don't care about anybody else. Yet when something like this happens, 3, 4 shopping carts clearing the shelves. You don't care that the next person leaves the store with an empty shopping cart? Which again, I don't care, dog. I don't. Yeah, be for yourself. I personally, I don't care. I'm not judging. I do not care. Go get all the supplies that you want. Go do it. I don't care. Just when things like this, when things are going good, do not sell me on this whole, oh man, I'm for everybody else. You know, I don't really care about myself. It ain't about helping me. It's about helping others. It's about this person. It's about that person. I think about everybody except for myself. Oh man, I don't like greedy people. That person's just all about greed. That person's just in it for themselves. And then something like this happens. Oh, what happened? It's all about you now, right? Which is cool. I don't care, dog. But don't be talking a good one that it's about everybody else except for you when things are good. Because we can conduct ourselves a certain way when something like this does happen, and go and be a little bit more considerate and saying like, okay, you know what, man, maybe I will take whatever I do buy, maybe I will grab one extra. I'm not getting clear off the shelf because I know there's other people in need. So whatever I buy, I'll probably grab one extra. Okay, boom. But anyway, something that I do want to bring up, I was very surprised. I'm gonna end it soon, man. But I was very surprised on some of the stuff that is imported. Check this out, man. I didn't hear about Dodge, and Ford was nowhere to be found. Dodge and Ford, yes, Dodge and Ford, nowhere to be found. You know who was impacted by this? GM, General Motors. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I didn't know that General Motors, which by the way, they own Cadillac, they own Lexus, I think, they own Chevrolet. I didn't know that they have foreign parts in their American-made cars, vehicles, I should say. Ford wasn't impacted. Neither was Dodge. I had no idea that good old grade A General Motors was it. Now, I don't know what parts, but I didn't know that they were getting certain parts from foreign lands. That's an interesting one. Now, I don't, like I said, do I really care? No, not really. It's just when I see commercials and, hey, it's American made and everything. Yeah, I get it. It's built here in America. Well, you know what? Look, Toyota has a plant in the United States. So technically, Toyota pickups and certain Toyota vehicles are built in the United States, but with foreign parts, right? I didn't know that General Motors, which owns, like I said, Chevrolet and Cadillac, I didn't know that they were hurt by this, man. They were like, hey, man, we need some of those parts in those containers. Like, whoa, oops. Maybe you shouldn't have spoken up too much, man. Because if Ford and Dodge, if they were affected by it, they kept it quiet. Maybe they were affected. Don't know. But they kept it quiet. Maybe all their parts are really, truly here from America. But GM, they slipped. They slipped. And it's like, whoa, we need some of that stuff. It's like, oh, the eye-opener, man, that you're putting out there to the American people from an American business that you rely on some foreign parts to make your American cars. So, but anyway, I'll leave it right there, man. Greed is deep. Real talk. Gracias, man. Yeah, you know what? Let me see. It is a bad thing. People nowadays are very inconsiderate. And that's all I'm really saying. Look, again, just real quick before I end it. All right. And I won't be repetitive, but I don't care, dog. I don't care about that if people are rich. It seems like people just love to hate rich people, yet everybody's trying to get rich. You notice that? It's like, oh man, the rich people, man, like they're the bad ones, they're the greedy ones, they're the evil ones. Yet everybody's talking about getting that bag. Everybody's trying to get rich like they are. I don't hate the rich. I don't despise the rich. I don't. It's just none of that, dog. If I see if I can help somebody and that person's worth helping, I'll go ahead. I'll help them. But I don't make it, part of my underline to be like, oh man, I'm for you. I'm for you. I'm here for you. It ain't about me, man. I don't even care about me. I care about you. Like, man, stop all that. Stop all that. Pointing out at like, oh man, look, these people are greedy. That person's greedy. That person's greedy. That person's greedy. You know what's wrong with these people? It's greed, man. Those people that are greedy. And then something like this happens, and you're over there clearing out the shelf. You're over there clearing out the shelf, thinking about who? You. Oh, I got family to feed. I have a family to feed. Dog, I should put that video up. They were interviewing some punk ass dude, homie, who was acting like a straight hyena. I know I sound my end there, and I am. Who was acting like a straight hyena, right? They interviewed his wife. I'm assuming it's his wife. He was there with his kids and his lady, right? I'm assuming it's his wife. I didn't look at the hand for a ring, but she was all like, I told them we need to go stock up. And then they put the mic on him, and the reporter asked, what was your response to that? Dog, I swear, he was like, I heard her say that, and I'm like, oh my God. He put his hand on his forehead. He's like, oh my God, you're right. Your kids are right there, homie. You're the man. You're dead. You're supposed to be Superman. You let your wife freak you out when you're supposed to tell your wife, don't trip. We'll probably have to tighten up the belt a little bit, but we'll be all right. Not this slapping your head like, oh, she told me that. Oh my God, you're right. Your kids are watching you. You're the superhero. You're dead. What the hell are you talking about? But what was more important, in that shopping cart, I found Go-Gurt. Yeah, Go-Gurt, that stupid freaking yogurt that you squeeze out. I saw freaking Doritos and all. Man, get the heck out of here, dog. He slaps his head. How am I going to feed my family? How are you saying these things in front of your woman and your kids? How am I going to feed my family? God, good. Gosh, dog. And your shopping cart has Go-Gurt and Doritos and good God. This country better not get invaded. This country better not get invaded, Holmes. This country better not get. No country should grow a pair of balls. Por favor. Do not grow a pair of balls and come invade this country, because that's the kind of men we got running around today. Slapping your forehead, dog. Oh, I heard her say that, and I said, oh my God, you're right. How am I going to feel like families right there? Keep it together, man. They're looking at you as the man. Anything wrong with telling them, like, well, you know what, things might get a little tough, but we'll be okay. We'll make ends meet. But anyway, man, I'm done, though. I'm getting off my soapbox. All right. So anyway, just to wrap it up. Okay. Boom. Strike is postponed till January 15th. They're back at work. Boom. The ships that were sent to the West Coast, some are actually going to dock at the West Coast. The ones that were close enough are turning back and going back to the Gulf and East Coast. All right. So let's see what happens if they come up with the deal. I don't think there's really a good guy here. I'm not rooting for the USMX for damn sure, these foreign billionaires. And I'm not rooting for the union. But if I had to choose one or the other, I'd rather have the money go to the American hands so they could spend it here in the good old US of A. Anyway, man, we'll see what happens. I found this very, very interesting, but we're all back to normal at least till January 15th. Hey, man, you guys have a great weekend. All right, fellas, you're the leader of your house. Don't be like that douchebag. Please, man. your woman, your kids, they're looking at you. Don't that. Good gosh, dog. That's the man we kind of got today, dog. I'm praying that we do not get invaded. I pray we don't get invaded, dog, because we're gonna get cooked, Pumps. All right, hey man, you guys be good. I'll catch you guys on next one.